What's up, guys? I see here how I can share this. All right, guys, I'm just emailing out to our lists the link for going live. So what's up, guys? I got nothing scheduled to talk about today other than answering any questions you guys have. So fire away. Drop anything you want in the chat. And I'm just going to do some stuff in the background until you guys fire in some questions. All right, got a few of you on here tonight so far. Fire away, ask any questions that you guys have. All right. Lucas writes, I've recently sparked an interest to become Google Ads specialist and started getting certified for Google Search. Do you have any tips for beginners like me to make the process easy? Go through all the training that they have, Lucas. Go through the certification process. Really shouldn't take you that long, maybe a day or two, maybe a couple hours, depends on how fast you work and learn and what your previous knowledge base was prior. Once you've got your certification, go to YouTube and start typing in Google ad campaign tutorials, AdWords tutorials, things like that. So you can watch other people build out campaigns and watch how guys that do this stuff for a living build out their campaigns and see what things look like. We have videos on our channel we have videos on our channel around Google Ads optimization. That's where I would go next. So it's one thing to build the house, but then you've got to build all the interior and actually maintain the building and maintain the home. So building your ad campaign is one thing, managing it is a different thing. So go onto YouTube, check out our videos on optimization. We've got tons of videos on that and checklists and things like that. And you can see inside live campaigns and see how the traffic reacts and see how your ads react. And you get a much better sense of how this stuff happens in real life. So there's the book side of it, then there's a practical application of it. So that's the part that you're gonna be lacking. And the nice thing is YouTube is a giant resource of information and people willing to provide this kind of stuff. So hit it up and search and study. Hope that helps. Allie writes, how can we optimize ads for a client that we just cannot get conversion? Okay. That we cannot use conversion. Allie, I think I know what you're asking. How can we optimize ads for the client that we cannot use conversion? Okay. Much tougher to optimize. You can't really, you do the best you can, but is this an instance where it's an e-commerce or is this generating leads? What's the purpose of the campaign? Give me a little bit more context and then I can kind of help you point you in the right direction. In that instance, if it's e-commerce or lead generation, you want to get as clean of traffic as you possibly can. And if you're not able to track conversions, then your job is to bring the horse to water. It's not to make it drink. So your job is to bring the most qualified traffic to them as possible. That's my best answer I can give you without more context. If you want to give me an idea, that would be helpful. Jacob, hey, I'm also doing the same as Lucas, but I'm interested in consultancy side of things, managing campaigns. How do I know the best person to outsource projects? Any recommendations? Jacob, go onto YouTube and type in white label PPC. You'll likely see my big mug there. You can check out a bunch of our video testimonials. So you're in an interesting situation in that you want to outsource something that you do not have the expertise in. So you are going to have to take people at their word. My recommendation would be go through our YouTube channel and watch us build campaigns and watch our optimization videos and try to get a little bit of a sense of this stuff before you go out and market selling it. You should have an idea of how this stuff works prior. And then once you do, being able to figure out who to outsource it is going to be a lot easier. You're going to want to find people that are responsive. Their rate structures fit into what you're looking to charge. You're going to look for people with testimonials, things like that. And then also the suite of infrastructure that you're looking for. So do you want somebody that has call tracking and landing pages and reporting all set up, or are you going to have that in-house and you just want someone to come in and plug it into your infrastructure and do the work? So it's all up to you. Taiwo asks, is now a good time to study and become a media buyer for Google Ads or Facebook ads to work at an agency? Yeah, I think there's no time like the present for anything. What would I pick between Google Ads or Facebook? So Google Ads and Facebook, Google Ads search campaigns and Facebook ads are two totally different skill sets. Search campaigns, so Google Ads search campaign is someone going to Google, searching for something, and you presenting a solution there in front of them. Whereas Facebook ads, they're scrolling down their feed and you present something to them that they may or may not be interested in, but has nothing to do typically with what they're currently doing. It's a different skill set. You're doing more geographic, demographic, and interest-based targeting with Facebook side of things, whereas with Google, it's message to market match. You're giving them exactly what they're looking for. I love the Google ad side of things. However, I could also make a case for the Facebook side of things. I guess it depends on watch a bunch of tutorial videos on how to set up Google ad campaigns, watch a bunch of tutorials on how to set up Facebook campaigns, and see which one you relate with more. And kind of where do you gravitate, and then go from there. Hope that helps. Lucas, which Google certifications do you recommend to complete? I realized that there are a lot of different types. Yeah, I would do Google Ad, the search campaign certification. That's when people think Google Ads, they think for the most part, they think search. There's YouTube, there's display, there's other things you can do, but search is the bread and butter for Google. So that's where I would focus the efforts in on. Ali, dealership without forms on their website. Okay. Ali, do they have a phone number that you can track conversions that way? So you can swap in phone numbers with CallRail or even Google call tracking and count phone calls as submissions. Being in the current environment that we're in, not all of them are taking walk-ins, and some are by appointment only. So that could be one way. Another way is there's a conversion you can set up, and don't ask me how to do this. I don't know off the top of my head. I could ask Rob, or if you just go to YouTube and look it up, or if you go into Google's knowledge base in the Google Ad support knowledge base, just Google how to set up. I think it's a location-based conversion. So basically you can draw like a map around something, and if someone enters that into that, then you can count that as a conversion. We don't do that often, but there's something there you can look into. Hope that helps. Yep. Yeah. Facebook is interruption marketing. Yep. So Facebook is more your old school, like newspaper or magazine style advertising. You're basically you're trying to put an offer in front of somebody that may be interested in what you're looking to do. or the service that you have or the product that you have, and hoping that it's of interest at that point. The nice thing about Facebook is you could typically get leads very cheap. The bad thing about Facebook is the quality of the leads tends to be a lot lower. And that goes back to the interruption versus Facebook. You're giving them exactly what they're looking for. They went to Google looking to solve a pain point, and that's why they went there. So Nathan, no, we have not tested chatbot landing pages for PPC. We have not. I know some people that do it with Facebook with chatbots, but I have not with Google. Cool. What else you guys got? You're welcome. Anybody in here pick up any of our courses? Direct mail course, Google Ads course, landing page course. Any questions on any of those? Anything like that? Okay. Lucas, how difficult is it for a beginner Google Ads specialist to land a job on freelancer sites? Do companies overlook beginners? Just look towards established specialists? No, not necessarily. I think it's very possible. We have a video. We did a couple videos back. Just go to our channel and look for somewhere in like the last 10 videos. It's our 2-step sales process, and it talks about how we sell the idea of auditing the campaign first and then the actual fulfillment of it. So I don't go straight to fulfillment typically. We'll go with the audit first. So it's called a 2-step sales process. So in this instance, on a freelance site, when you're talking to somebody, so let's say you apply for a position, my recommendation would probably be based on what they said in their ad, what they're looking for, would be to have a discussion around auditing their campaign first. Keep in mind, Lucas, and I don't say this disrespectfully, I'm saying this as a matter of fact, there's a seat for every ass or an ass for every seat, however that saying goes. You can find work anywhere. And some companies will want cheap labor. Some companies will want the best person for the job. And then you've got everything in between. So there are plenty of companies out there that will hire somebody, unknown. Are they going to pay you top market dollar? Probably not. You don't have the, credentials to back you up and the social proof to back you up and likely the sales skills to warrant it. Who knows? But Lucas, I would recommend reading up on some sales books as well, because people that are good at communicating with other people and communicating their value proposition are going to do a lot better in the long term. And that's not just this is in life in general. Asking for raises at jobs, asking for that promotion. If you're able to, communicate that effectively and then communicate your value proposition and why it would be wise for them to do that. And then there's a whole side of being in sales and being a business owner, being a true freelancer. You've got to know how to persuade and influence people, or it's going to be tough. Nicholas, we've tested chatbot landing pages and they work great for lead gen. Favorite platform to build them on is Landbot. Now, Nicholas, is that on Google Ads or is that Facebook for the chatbot stuff? Ali, is there any tutorial to set up an e-commerce website with around 10,000 products and retarget? Oh my God, 10,000 products. My heart just skipped a beat. The thought of running e-commerce campaigns makes me want to throw up. No offense to anybody in e-commerce. We just don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. We specialize in lead generation, so our job is to make the phone ring for business. E-commerce is a different skill set, and it's going to involve some retargeting and omnipresent approach, in our opinion. And for what we charge in market and for our skill sets that we have in house, we don't do it. So I would imagine, Ali, if you go to Google and YouTube and type in AdWords tutorial or Google Ads e-com tutorial, you'll find tutorials with guys setting everything up A to Z. Hope that helps. I'm just not your guy for that. Nicholas, awesome. That's cool to hear. Let's see. Jacob, when outsourcing work, I would set the targets for the client. Could I pay the freelancer based on those targets? And if they exceed them, does responsibility fall on me setting the realistic targets? I mean, you could pay anybody anything that you want, whether they agree on it or not, or if you've got someone that's happy with their compensation is another thing. So the way we work is we don't work on pay per lead or number of deals or anything like that. We work off of a flat fee model. So our company would not be applicable for us. However, I'm sure you could find somebody out there that would be willing to do it. I can't speak to how good they are or the quality of the work they do. I'm not pitching us here. I'm just throwing out a couple of examples. As far as setting the targets, we've got a video on how to set a Google Ads budget. I think it's called AdWords budget, how to set a Google Ads budget. My recommendation would be to watch that because that's going to walk through the framework we use to come up with Google Ad budgets for clients. And more importantly, why we do it. Knowing why is much more important than knowing what the number is. Everyone asks what the number should be. And I just send them this video because if they know why we're doing it, it's way more important than me just spitting out a number to them. That's like the old biblical analogy of teach a man to fish. If I can teach you why we're doing the Google Ads budget, the better off you're going to be. Crypto King J, what would you say is the best way to get your first client? The best way, just have business conversations, have conversations with all the people you talk to every day. Somebody in your network, in your friends, your family, someone's going to know somebody that's running a Google Ads campaign that you could potentially work with. We've landed tons of clients with direct mail. We've got a course on that. You could do cold calling. We've landed tons and tons of clients with that. We've got something coming out about that. You could get clients on Upwork, on people per hour. You can get guys on Fiverr. You can get clients by going door to door. You can get clients with strategic alliances. So find a web developer or an SEO company that does not offer PPC, where you can come in and fulfill that work for them. I mean, honestly, probably white labeling work is going to be your fastest way to find somebody, because you've got people in there that are likely using this stuff in market, and they may or may not be able to fulfill it on the back end. Probably the fastest, but you got to know your chops. You got to be able to fulfill that work, and you got to be able to fulfill a breadth of work, not just a single niche, if that makes sense. Hope that helps, Jay. If you got anything else, if you want to give me more context, I can elaborate a bit. Jay, one more thing. We've got a video or a couple of videos on the channel. There's an agency playlist. I would go through that and watch those. There's stuff on setting expectations, setting an ad budget. There's stuff on picking niches, what to charge for PPC management services. There's stuff on, I think there's a video on like the top 25 ways we've gotten clients. I think it's 25. There's stuff in there on joint ventures and strategic alliances, all stuff I just mentioned. We have videos in there on that stuff. And there's examples of live cold calls on this channel that we've done. Cold calling is really effective to pierce a market quickly. So, Mohammed, hello. For CallRail and the landing page provider, do you get the client to pay the monthly fee? We pay for the fees in-house. So CallRail and Instapage and Swidoo for reporting. We pay for that stuff in-house. I know agencies that make the client pay for that. That's totally fine. Our take on it was if we're going to be managing, hundreds of these accounts, do we want to be logging in and out of client accounts each day and remembering all of those passwords and that cluster mess of logging in and out? It's just a disaster. So our thing was, okay, at what point does it make sense for us to just get the software, get the landing page, all that stuff, everything we need, and then can we fit that into our pricing model? That's how we did it. Your first client out of the bag, maybe they've got the infrastructure in place. Awesome, go that route. But as you grow, you're definitely going to want to bring that stuff in-house, because having to log in and out of lots of different accounts, lots of different client accounts, just becomes a mess, and I don't recommend it. Hope that helps. Awesome, Jay. Glad it was helpful. Nicholas, what do you think of Google's ad identity verification process? Any tips on that as Google starts to roll it out? It is what it is. So Nicholas is asking about Google's ad verification process. They're making you verify that you are who you say you are and that you've got a legitimate business that should be advertising in that niche. So what that's going to do is get rid of a lot of the pay per lead style folks. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it'll help eliminate some of the scammers in the market. I think if you look at the trend of which way Google's going, Google guaranteed, Google identity verification, they're trying to become a more trustworthy partner with all the other ways that they a local person can go out and get stuff. Google is trying to become more and more that provider for them. So it's not like they weren't already, but I think they're just trying to further solidify it in a very diverse ecosystem. You know, people could go to Alexa now, they can go to their iPhone, they can go to a lot of different places to get information. So they're looking to become a more trusted source, if you will. So it sucks. Not sucks. It's a hassle. It's part of the process, but it is what it is. Crypto King J, I'm generating like 2 or 3 interested people per day. It's just extremely hard closing them with no testimonials and whatnot, but I will for sure check out the vids in the playlist. Jay, when we started, we didn't have any testimonials and any of that shit. Our website, I don't even think we launched with a website when we first started, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and ask Rob on that one. But everybody starts out at 0. Apple started out with 0. Google started out at 0. Everybody starts out at a level playing field. All the testimonials that we have on our website are years in the making. These are not day one things. These are things that come with you penetrating the market and getting experience in that market. So don't let that get to you. You know, when we enter, like we have another agency focused on a specific niche, we didn't have testimonials when we get into that market. We had experience in that market from this agency, but we didn't have testimonials or anything. But you craft your sales pitch around that. Jay, check out Power Phone Scripts and Selling Local Advertising by Claude Whitaker. Claude Whitaker, guy's awesome. I interviewed him on the channel. He's got a bunch of books. One called Closing is really good, and Selling Local Advertising is a really good book. I think that'll help put you at ease. You don't need a website. You don't need testimonials. You don't need all this stuff to actually go out and close business. Just ask better questions if that helps. So I would read those. Power Phone Scripts, one call, Selling Local Advertising with Claude Whitaker. CTJSCA, what's the advantage of becoming a Google Ads specialist? So being Google Ads certified, a lot of companies require it. If you're looking for a job to manage Google ad campaigns, many people want to see that you're Google Ads certified. To be a Google, what's the advantage of being Google Ad specialist? You can effectively build and manage Google ad campaigns, and in our case, generate leads for local businesses and get paid to do so. If you want to keep it as a skill set internally to yourself, you go get a position at a company. I don't want to say you have some job security, but people are always looking to generate more leads and more revenue for their business. So if you've got that skill set, it's a valuable asset to have. And the better you get at it, the more you can command, both at an internal employee level and then at a freelance consulting or agency level. So I think it's a very valuable skill set to have. The one skill set I would say is I like more than Google Ad Specialist is the ability to sell, because if you're able to sell, or I should say, if you don't have the ability to sell, actually going out and fulfilling and being a Google Ad Specialist is that much more difficult because you just don't have the people to do it for. So, hope that helps. Lucas, for someone who is looking for making some cash on the side online that's interested in Google Ads, do you advise against becoming a freelance specialist? If so, what do you recommend instead? Lucas, that's a tough one for me to answer without more context. When you say on the side, are you willing to talk to people during the day and sell them on your services? Like, how on the side are we talking? What's your full-time day job? Give me a little context as to how many hours per day you could reasonably allocate towards this, business hours wise, and then post business hours. That's that's a tough one for me to answer without more context. Yo, what's up, Mark Kelly? So anybody in here that needs help with e-commerce stuff, Mark Kelly is the guy we refer tons of e-commerce business over to. He also owns a white label agency as well. So if you're a lead for me and I can't help you, I send them over to Mark. And if maybe you like my videos, but you don't want to deal with me or you think I'm a shit, whatever, Mark's got a quality service, very similar pricing, and is the real deal. So Mark is a good dude. Mark, we got to have you back on here again, man. I enjoyed our interview we did last time. If I knew how to open up my mic to get you on here, that would be fun, but I have no idea how to do that. Oh, Mark is inboundrevenue.com if you guys are looking for it. www.inboundrevenue.com. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Carlos, how do you conduct your outreach, and what was the biggest challenge you faced when starting your agency? Now we get a lot of inbound. Like a couple lives ago, we went through our last 40 clients, how we got them all. We get a lot of inbound leads at this point. So at that point, it was a mixture of inbound leads from organic, from Google, from YouTube, referrals from active clients or past clients. Some of it was direct mail, and some of it was a cold calling pipeline that we had for a period of time. So that's where like the last 40 came from. How do you conduct outreach now? Direct mail is pretty much the sole way. We've pulled back on cold calling for the time being just because our main guy that was cold calling for us ended up leaving. He was an entrepreneur at heart, and we knew he'd be leaving at some point. Yeah, so we'll be looking probably in Q2. We're going to be hiring a sales guy, a full-time sales guy. And they'll likely be doing some cold outreach for us as well, likely cold calling. And then what was the biggest challenge you faced when starting your agency? Leads, getting qualified conversations, talking to the right people, figuring out who we wanted to talk to, who we didn't want to talk to. You're going to have to test a lot of stuff, and you're going to fall over and fail a lot before you kind of hit your stride and things start making sense and you're doing well with it. So don't look at them as failures, look at them as learning curves and learning experiences. And for every direct mail piece that you mail out and it fails, it's a learning curve. You learn what the market didn't respond to. Every cold call that, days worth of cold calling or weeks worth of cold calling that doesn't work isn't a failure. It just taught you what the market didn't react to. So, start researching, here's the tip. If you're going to be an agency owner or a freelancer, start boosting up your business acumen. Learn how business works. Read business books. Get familiar with the lexicon of, the verbiage, how people talk in the business world, what business margins are, how they work. People think top line revenue is what a client will take home at the end of the year, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So knowing that kind of stuff and knowing how to effectively acquire business for clients is important kind of stuff. So I'm a believer in stuff like Jay Abraham's book. I always talk about this, Getting All You Can Have All You've Got. Awesome book about having a more creative marketing mind. Alan Weiss has a couple really good books on consulting, $1 Million Consulting and the Consulting Bible. He sells into like Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies. Not likely what we're doing here, but nonetheless, you'll gather a lot of his positioning, how he sells, how he does things. As you can see, there's tons of sales books, Power Phone Scripts, Sell the Meeting by Scott Channel. Anything here, another good book, Double Double by Cameron Herold. He was the COO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK and took them from $2 million a year to I think $106 million in 6 years. It's an awesome book. And this talks about how to structure your business for growth and how to actually achieve it. And yeah, I just wanted off a bit of a rant there. I lost track. Mark, you better rein me in when I go off on rants like that. Best platform, best PPC platform, Facebook, Google, or YouTube. I'm going to say Google Ads, Google search ads, but that's just me. If you ask a Facebook marketer, they're going to say Facebook ads. And if you ask a YouTube marketer, they're going to say YouTube, and they will all be right. Whatever it is you can dial in and get really effective at, and whatever you're most comfortable with, go that route. Go watch people doing, if you're new to this and looking for something to offer, go watch people, go on YouTube and search Facebook ad campaign build, Google campaign build, YouTube campaign tutorial, things like that, and watch people build campaigns. And if you resonate with that and resonate with how they're talking about it, go that route, learn that. Or if you go and watch people talking about SEO and how to actually perform SEO, if you resonate with that, go that route, and then outsource the additional services that you don't want to do. I mean, that's why half my business is from agencies that offer SEO and design and don't want to offer PPC. That's why we do what we do. So it's a hard question for me to answer. Go see what you like. Laughmentica, are you direct mailing a warm market? No, these are ice cold markets. These are literally scraped markets where we're building lists and sending out niche specific direct mail. Mohammed, for the landing page setup, I'm slightly confused about the client main domain integration. Could you please go through that real quick? So Mohammed, we use Instapage for landing pages, and technically you could use a subdomain or you could use a WordPress plugin. But what we do is we get the .co or .net of whatever their website is and put it there. So we don't actually integrate it with their main website. That's just our best practice. If you talk to Mark Kelly, he might have a different best practice that works for him. But for us, that's how we do it. Lucas, to give you more context, I'm currently a student online and have a lot of free time, and I wish to allocate towards Google Ads and make money on the side. Awesome. Lucas, do you like talking to people? What is the idea of picking up the phone and cold calling someone? Does that make you cringe and want to lay on the couch, or does that kind of excite you and get you perked up about the idea of making money out of the blue with the phone? If you can give me some context there, I can kind of point you in the right direction. Treshin, yo, thank you. You're welcome. Carlos, thank you for all the advice. Definitely look into those books. Awesome. Appreciate it. Treshin, how do you find customers? Treshin, go back through our lives. I want to say it was maybe a couple weeks ago. I did a video on 40 clients that we got in the last 2 months for, I think it was November, December. Watch that video. We go through a bunch of different ways that we get them. And then if you look through the channel, probably a year or so ago, we did another video with I think it's 40 ways, 30 ways, 20 ways, something like that, of all different ways that we've ever acquired customers. And it goes over how we did it, why we did it, all that good stuff. Carlos, how many hours do you put in a day when you first started your business? Probably 8 to 10. But the thing is it's hard to turn off. You're always thinking about it, and it depends on. So for us, if I had to do it all over again, I would have gotten more aggressive with outbound right out of the gate. We got a lot of our clients through Facebook groups early on, through networking in Facebook groups. I would have done that, but then also I would have done more aggressive stuff with direct mail and cold calling right out of the gate, knowing what I know now, as evidenced by what we did when we just launched the new agency. So knowing what I know now, direct mail and cold calling, until we can get to the point where we're getting an influx of inbound leads from organic traffic, referrals, strategic alliances, things like that. That's another thing. You are literally one strategic alliance away from, a healthy 6-figure business. A strategic alliance could be someone that owns a Facebook group that has a bunch of clients in a niche that you want to work in, or just a Facebook group that has a bunch of business owners in it. You could do some sort of strategic alliance with them where they refer you customers. It could be an association. It could be a local accountant that's got a lot of business clients. You're literally one joint venture, one strategic alliance away from blowing up your business in a good way. So keep that in mind. Again, go back to that book, Jay Abraham's Getting Everything You Can Out of All That You've Got. I interviewed Sohail Khan on the channel as well. He's a joint venture expert. Great interview, or at least I thought it was. I enjoyed the interview. He's a smart dude and talks all about strategic alliances and how he brings in. He does it more through brokering, but you can be a joint venture. You can set up joint ventures for yourself, but you can also set up joint ventures as a broker and make money in the middle. So that there's that also you could offer to clients. Alejandro, how should we price our services? Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alejandro, we've got a video on the channel, PPC Pricing Models. I'd say watch that first. And then if you want to shoot me an email, I can kind of point you in the right direction. But I need more context around who you're targeting, what services you're offering, the types of businesses you're targeting, because there's no one size fits all answer. Like if you're doing just Facebook ads, you could easily charge $1,000 a month and have $1,000 a month ad budget and create something really nice there. You could be doing Google ads and asking a $3,000 a month ad budget and charge $750 a month. So it also could be $1,500 or $3,000. It could be $5,000 a month. It could be $500 a month. I need context. Context is king. So if you guys can supply any more information, I can help you on that. I think, Alejandro, I think my video on PPC pricing models will be helpful because I go through a bunch of different examples of how I see us and then our agency clients, how they price services in the market. And then also, I always say this, Josh Nelson's book, 7-Figure Agency Blueprint. Awesome book. Great book. Talks about pricing services in there. Really, really good book. Josh is a good dude. Lucas, I'm unsure on what cold calling is, but I'm really enjoying talking to people and wouldn't mind calling people if it helps. So cold calling is you build out a list of businesses that have never heard of you before in market. You get their phone number and you pick up their phone and try to set an appointment to sell them more stuff. Let me back up. You pick up the phone to set an appointment to see if there's something there that you could potentially help them with. You don't sell everybody you talk to. You gotta go through a qualification process first to make sure there's a right fit that you could actually potentially help them. So if you're serious about cold calling, we'll have a course coming out about that. But if you go for right now, just go to our channel and type in, do a search and do cold calling or cold, and you'll see all the instances of cold calling videos where we talk about it. I do an interview series with Reggie, who used to be our sales guy, did all our calling. There's live examples in there. And then also Sell the Meeting by Scott Channel is the book I would recommend. And then also $1 Million Rebuttal. That book is very good. I'd say the two of those would be where I would go for cold calling information. And then those two books will help you craft the script. They'll help you identify the market to call into. They'll give you all the context you need. Treshawn, do you have any job openings? Today, no, but in second quarter of this year, we will. Carlos Gonzalez, do you price your services with a set management fee or price depending on client's budget? Yeah, we've been doing a flat fee model for probably about 6 months now, somewhere in that range. We used to do a sliding scale, but we ended up shifting it and just going flat rate. So it's easier. It's much clearer for our agencies to be able to set their pricing off that. And then also as a value add in your retail pricing, I think it's easier to sell as a flat rate as opposed to a sliding scale as well. So that's the route we go. What else you guys got? Just looking through some emails real quick, see if I have any questions. You guys got any questions? I don't know if you guys noticed, I am very tired today. I think I've slurred a couple of times. I've got gum in my mouth, but I got it in my jaw. But my son was up in the middle of the night screaming several times, so I am exhausted right now. I'm gonna go turn on the fan. I'll be right back. All right. Mohammed, on average, how many landing pages do you set up for each client? Usually one. Depends. I'll give you an example, Mohammed. If it is a roofing company and they do residential and commercial, we do 2 landing pages, one for residential, one for commercial. We don't need to break it out. Roofing company, roof repair, roof installation, you don't need to do that. You can do one single landing page for that. That's fine. But if you're going to do commercial and residential, you want to break that out because they're going to speak different language. They're looking at different images, things like that. Corey, when acquiring a new PPC client, would you recommend any sorts of commitment fee? Don't know what a commitment fee is. I don't know if you're asking about a setup fee or a commitment time frame. So we do charge a setup fee. We do charge a little bit of a setup fee on the monthly on month one, and then in terms of commitment time frame, we don't. Everything we do is month to month. However, we recommend, in their mind, they're setting at least 60 to 90 days to this, and if they're not cool with that in their mind, then I give a little bit of a pushback. I do a little takeaway, and I say, if that's not in the cards, let's hold off on this. Let's wait, because I don't really want to be in and out in 30 days because it's not right. It's not right to the campaign. You're not doing yourself justice, and you're not going to see the full effects of the campaign in 30 days. So if that's what you're thinking, let's hold off on it. So you take away, and if it could be a legit thing, they only want to do 30 days. Legitimately say, let's hold off then, because why take someone's money for 1 month and it not be in their best interest? So you're better off at least 2 to 3 months, but we don't actually lock them into that. Carlos, when you say the client is spending $75 a day in one campaign, but I see when you see the campaign as 7 ad groups, does that mean you guys run 7 ad groups total at $75 a day? Yeah. Okay. So you've got your campaign level, and you've got campaign budget, and then underneath the budget, underneath the campaign, you've got ad groups within that campaign, and then within those ad groups, you've got keywords. Okay. So it goes campaign, ad group, keyword. That's how you group everything. And budgets are at a campaign level. So it would be, in this example, it'd be the 7 ad groups inside one campaign with that $75 a day total budget. Mohammed, I'm guessing you don't set up a landing page for each ad group. No, we don't. Kevin, hey, I just got my Google certification a while back for search ads. How would you recommend getting started? Kevin, congratulations, man. Talk to me about what your goals are. Are you looking to get a job? Are you looking to freelance, or are you looking to start an agency? Give me an idea of what you're looking to do. Carlos, campaign spent a day 75. You have 7 ad groups and 1 ad group in each, 1 ad in each ad group, which is $10. No. So Carlos, it's one campaign with a $75 a day ad budget. Then you've got all these ad groups built out. Inside those ad groups are all the keywords. And based on where the search volume is coming from that day, Google will display ads. And then a certain portion of those ad groups and the keywords are going to be where you get your traffic from. And within your campaign, Perry Marshall is a famous marketer / Google Ads guy. Got a great book on the 80-20 principle. You're going to see that 80% of your clicks are going to come from 20% of your ad groups. So you're going to see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of your ad groups are driving the vast majority of your traffic. So that's really where you're going to want to focus your efforts in on. Kevin, looking to start an agency. I already have 1 potential client. Awesome. We've got lots of videos on this channel about starting an agency. If you want to email over, go to our website and get our white label pricing. You'll have at least a starting point in terms of pricing, and then you'll get our white label guide. and a YouTube playlist of stuff to watch to give you more context. And then if you want to email me over any questions that you have specifically, we're looking for questions for the Google Ads course. I'm sorry, the Google Ads Agency course that we're putting together. So any questions that you have, I can help answer either in a live or in that Google Ads agency training. Carlos, I have about 5 people. I have about 5 Google certifications and want to start an agency. How do you recommend I start? Same thing I just said to Kevin. I'd say go through all the videos on our channel first, get more context about how to price your services, what to offer, what the deliverables will be. Go through our funnel and see what that looks like. And then you're going to you need to start outreaching. You need to start so you've got outreach and then you've got inbound. And when you're starting, you've got nothing. You've got nothing coming from the inbound side of things. So you have to go out. You have to go outbound until you get to a point where there's a balance. And then at a tipping point, it'll shift where all your leads can come from inbound if you want to. But we also have guys that continue to do outbound. But you'll find that the more outbound you do, the more inbound you get. Kevin, awesome, man. Thanks. Awesome. Cool. Good stuff. What else you guys got? So we're mulling over what the pricing is going to look like for the agency course. So we're going to put just grab my calculator. We're going to put all of our courses inside the agency course on top of all of the other information that you're going to get inside the agency course. So you're going to get everything about starting the agency and running the agency, but then you're also going to get the direct mail course. You're going to get the cold calling course that we're doing now. You're going to get the Google Ads course, the landing page course, all packages as one. So that's 4 courses at $197. That's a $788 total, but I don't want to charge that for the agency course. So I'm trying to come up with a number that would be viable for a beginner, but also makes sense for us financially. I'm thinking somewhere between probably $500 and $650, somewhere in that range for the agency course. What do you guys think? What do you want it to be? Knowing that you're going to get all 4 of our current courses, or 3 current courses plus the cold calling course. Carlos, do you guys use Google Analytics to send client reports, or do you guys set meeting to explain? No, we don't. So we use agency, or we use SWIDO, SWYDO or SYWDO. You could also use Google Agency Analytics, which is another paid version. You could use Google's Data Studio, which is another option. We do not use that. And we do not set weekly or monthly appointments to go over them. They get their reports every Monday morning. You certainly can. If you're going to offer a bunch of services to the client and not just Google Ads, yeah, you can definitely do monthly meetings, and I think that is a good thing. But as a standalone service, I don't think it's necessary, because most of these clients are not going to be spending a ton of money on a monthly basis. And the reports, what we found over the last 5-6 years, the weekly reports suffice. Mohammed, do you get a client to sign a contract before you start working with them to outline the agreed work? We do not. In our newer agency, we do when we were offering SEO, but we're no longer offering it for the time being there. That was more of a time frame thing. We more have a statement of understanding of what we do. But no, we don't do contracts. Everything we do is month to month. So we do not. Kevin, my potential client is a very specific niche. He does custom garage doors and gates. Do you have any tips for that? Because I can't find something like that in your video library. Yep, that is very unique. So in something like that, you need to be very aggressive with your negative lists. You want to negative out first, figure out if he's shipping this stuff to people, or if it's going to be people within his local market. And then you want to have a good negative list in there, negativing out things like ideas, pictures, picture, videos, images, galleries, DIY, yourself, how to, stuff that'll denote someone else doing this, or looky-loos looking for more information or ideas. Just picture someone looking on like Pinterest for this kind of stuff. That's the type of person you want to negative out from a campaign like this. And then go through a normal campaign build out based on search intent, high intent keywords, and just build out as you normally would. Carlos, do you set Google tags for the client or just focus on PPC lead generation? So yeah, we everything we do tracking wise is going to be within the Google Ads dashboard itself, with a call rail integration. So we do not use Google Tag Manager or analytics. We do everything within the Google Ads dashboard. That has all the tracking that we need. Denault, what should you do immediately after you're getting, okay. Denault, are you looking for a job, getting hired at a business or an agency? Or are you looking to be a freelancer? Or are you looking to start an agency? Give me more context. I should name these lives. Give me more context. I think you guys hear me say that a lot, but I need more context. I can't give you guys answers without knowing more of what it is you're looking for. So the more you can, the deeper you can ask your question, the more I can help. You guys have anything else? For beginner agency owners, what do you recommend for leads? Go on our channel and watch the video on all the ways we've generated deals. I can't remember the title for the life of me. It's either, give me a sec. I'll go find it. Give me one sec. I figure this will be easier if I actually just drop a link in here and show you guys the video. I just want to search the channel for it. There we go. Okay, it's 24 ways we've landed marketing clients. Give me one sec. Let me get you
creating customer satisfaction surveys only
the
takes
actual
15 seconds. Choose your platform.
No, let me just pause that. All right, here's the video to watch, guys. I'll pin that up top for you. Pin that. All right, just pin that up top. That's the video to watch. That's going to go over all the different ways we've generated deals. I made that a while ago, so I don't know everything that's in there off the top of my head. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else new that we've gotten. Probably not. But let's see. Then for a freelancer until I graduate college and then maybe a digital marketing job from there. Would love maybe to start an agency. Awesome. Denault, watch the video I just pinned. That's going to give you a bunch of ideas. And Craigslist is a place you could look for freelance jobs. Upwork, your local newspaper, Facebook groups, Facebook marketing groups, Facebook local groups. There's literally an endless supply. Basically, as a freelancer, you're an agency owner, but you just call yourself a freelancer. I mean, I know plenty of agency owners that are a single person, and it's an agency. So an agency is, I think, more of a, obviously having employees and having it fleshed out, that would be an agency. But the difference between a solo agency versus a freelancer is more of just a mindset more than anything else. I also think if you're going to be an agency, I think you should have the infrastructure in place. So the call tracking, the reporting, the landing page. That's my opinion. Corey, any specific reason you stopped providing SEO services? Yeah, fulfillment became an issue. So fulfillment for Google Ads has always been our specialty. We had issues fulfilling it. So we pulled back for a bit because at the same time we were having issues with it. We were onboarding tons of clients on the Google Ads side. So it became a bottleneck, and we just got to work through better systems. So we'll be there again at some point, but for right now, we're going to hold off on it. Carlos, what software do you use to run your business? How much does it cost monthly? All right. If you had to start day one, first one you're going to need is an MCC account. It stands for My Client Center. It's a free Google dashboard that's going to allow you to manage multiple client accounts from one location. So you've got your agency MCC. As you take on a new client, they all get housed inside of your MCC account. And this way you log into your MCC, and that's where you view everything, as opposed to logging in out of everybody's accounts. That'll drive you nuts, and you'll lose passwords. You'll get locked out. It's a pain in the butt. This way you've got everybody in one location. Everyone gets housed underneath it. And that's one. Number two is call tracking. We use CallRail. That allows us to use pools of numbers to swap through to track at the keyword level what's driving leads. It's not enough to know at a campaign level. Great, I know a campaign level calls are happening. I need to know specifically what keywords are driving leads because let's say roofing Denver is driving all the clicks, but roofing Aurora is driving all the leads. I need to be able to cut the fat there, cut my cost per lead, and spend that money more efficiently elsewhere. You can't really do that without call tracking. Plus, we get to record the calls with call tracking, which adds another layer of service. How much is that? I really don't know what they charge for a small account off the bat. We pay thousands of dollars a month, but we also have a ton of clients on it and a ton of numbers, so I don't know. And we've had the account for a long time. So I honestly, I don't know. Go to callrail.com and look up their pricing structures. You want the option where you can rotate through a pool of numbers. So the number swap is what you're looking for. And then reporting, we use Swidoo or Swidoo, SYWDO or SWYDO.com. They're simple reporting software. You could also use agency analytics. You want something where the reports are a couple bucks a month. You know, you get like your base price and then extra per report. What's that cost? I don't know. We pay hundreds per month, but I don't know what it would be to start out with. And then Instapage is our landing page software, and we pay a lot. We pay $600 or $700 a month for that, but we also got grandfathered in pricing. So if you were to have the amount of accounts that we have now, it would cost you into the thousands. And if we were starting over again from scratch, we probably wouldn't go with them because of their pricing structure. We'd probably go with Unbounce. Unbounce is going to be your cheaper option, and we found you could do much of the same in terms of functionality. So I don't know what their pricing is. Go check out their website. So Unbounce for landing pages or Instapage, CallRail, Swidoo or Agency Analytics, and MCC, which is free. Hope that helps. Trayshawn, do you have a website? Yes, we do. It's clicksgeek.com. That is this. I figured you guys all knew what company I was by now. Clicksgeek.com, and I hope that helps. Mohammed, can you quickly go through your onboarding process? What info do you need from your clients? Do you have a pre-made form? So onboarding, pretty simple. You send over an onboarding email and a payment link. Once payment's been made and the info is sent, we'll be ready to go live in 2 to 4 business days. The way it works is we ask simple stuff like their Google Ads customer ID number, the name of their business, their email for reporting, their email for their CallRail sub account that we create for them, the niche that we're targeting, Google Ads budget, ad schedule, what else? Geo-targeting, ad schedule, ad budget, niche that we're targeting, phone number to send calls to, email address to send leads to. Simple stuff. It's nothing earth-shattering. Most of what we're doing, we've done before. So you don't need a really super long, in-depth onboarding process. It's really simple. Once we have that back, I go into the MCC account. I add in that client account, their ad number, into the MCC, request access, and then I go back and email the client, and I say, hey, we just requested access into your Google Ads account. Please log into your Google Ads account and then follow these 3 steps and grant us the access. And that kicks off our onboarding process. From there, we take that information and get that over to development. And from there, it'll be typically, we say 2 to 4 business days to have you live in market. Once that's done, that comes back to front of the house and they say, here's everything good to go. We email that off to the client. We say, here's your landing page. Here's your call tracking information. First round of edits is free. After that, it's $50 per round of edits. We try to push back on edits on the landing page just based on the fact that we've run more paid traffic than they have, unless there's some structural or grammatical or factual error that we've made. And then they let us know and we're good to go live and we turn the campaign on. Pretty simple process to get you in and out and live in market. Corey, is it a big problem if you report manually via email to your client, no reporting software? No, it's not. It's not. The bigger issue is it's going to be a pain in the ass for you. Why not automate it for, I don't know. I mean, let's check out what Swidoo pricing is. I got to learn how to say this name. Swidoo. So Swidoo pricing is, so the professional level is $75 a month, and you can have 20 clients on that. And you can do SEO and PPC reporting in that. I mean, yeah, I get it. I get that you don't want to pay for that, but $75, it's going to make your life a lot easier. This stuff is done automatically in the background. These things they come out to you automatically. They go out Monday mornings for us. That's when we schedule them. They go out in real time automatically. It's clean. It's easy. What you're requesting to do to save you $75 a month, you have to go in and manually do that every single Monday. So let's say you have 10 clients and each report, so 10 times 4 weeks, that's 40 reports you've got to generate. Whereas just buy it. It's cheap. Factored into your pricing. You know, some of this infrastructure cost sucks, but makes your life a lot easier, man. There's something to be said for paying for speed here and not doing this stuff all yourself. What do you put in the sample report you're sending? So simple stuff here. Let me try to see if I can sample report. Let me get you a sample one. I think I know in our white label guide we have an example, but let me see if this is, there you go. Here's a sample one. Guys, I should probably be a sales rep for Swidoo as much as I talk about them. Here's a sample report of what this would look like. It's really simple, man. It does not need to be super complex. You do not need to have all this stuff in it as well. You want simple stuff. You want to go through the impressions, the click-through rate, the clicks, the cost, the conversions, the cost per conversion, the overall performance, stuff like that. This does not need to be super complex. It's really simple. And once you have a style of the report that you like, you just clone it for each new client that you bring on. It's really simple. Christopher, I run ads in the cannabis industry. Google doesn't show me estimated top bid or keywords. I use search impression share, etc., first position bid, etc., top of page to gauge bids. How else can I do? Yeah, man, that's a tough one because they handcuff you at every place they possibly can in that niche. I don't know specifically because I'm not running in that industry. Either for a physical location or an online dispensary or anything like that. So how would I do that? Search impression share, estimated first. Yeah, you can do absolute top. Yeah, I see estimated top. You can do absolute top. That's going to be That's going to be your best bet, unfortunately. I mean, they used to do average position, and that used to be the lever or the point that we would put the lever on, and knew that if it was below a certain point, we just crank up bidding a little bit more, and then we can be right back there. They've taken that away, and they say it's better this way, but I disagree. I'm sure you feel the same way. Pippo, what's up? I remember your name from previous couple lives ago. How do you see the competition in your business? Is it big? Pippo, yeah, I mean, it's enormous. It's an enormous, highly fragmented, segmented, diverse industry. I mean, our competition is literally anybody that's selling them any other style advertising. That's one. That's our indirect competition. The Yellow Page guy, the guy that's selling them Valpak, the guy that's selling a billboard, they're technically all advertised or competing against us. Then you've got direct competitors who are other agencies or other PPC agencies or freelancers offering the same service. It's a very highly fragmented market. However, there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here. Just within the Google ad space, Google sells $7 or $8 billion worth of ads a month, and the majority of that needs to be managed and curated by somebody because most people doing this are a disaster. So I think there's a huge opportunity. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think there was an opportunity here. I would just do something else. I've got sales skills, so I could figure something else out. If I didn't think this was a high enough margin industry, I'd figure something else out. Hope that helps. I didn't mean to be rude. That wasn't, hope that didn't come off rude. That was not my intention. Christopher, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. If you would love to shoot us a 30-second video testimonial of your experience with the Google Ads course, I would very much appreciate it, Christopher. It's up to you. You don't have to if you don't want to. What's up, Rob? Good to see you here. Rob, if you opt in for our pricing, you'll get our white label guide. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure I have your email. Rob Cross. Yeah, Rob, I'll shoot you a message right now, Rob, with our white label guide in it. So you have that. Pretty sure you got this already, but you're getting another one coming to your inbox right now. Carlos, what are some beginner niches for people with no experience? So think in terms of cost per click. The higher the cost per click, the logic is that it's more competitive. People are willing to spend more to acquire that business. Lower cost per click also denotes lower client values as well. So it's not always a one-to-one correlation, but if you stick with stuff that's like single digit cost per clicks, you're probably going to be in a good range. Kennels, dog training. Think in terms of like very local businesses. Trying to think other stuff that's single digits. The only reason I had kennels and dog training because I just did a call yesterday with somebody and we're talking about that. Single digits. I'd have to get back to you. I don't know single digits off the top of my head, but if you go through, just go through Google, find a list of niches available for local businesses, and then kind of cross-reference that using the way we come up with Google Ads budgets and figure out low cost per click niches that way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up our YouTube video on Google Ads budget. What should my Google Ads budget be? And that'll walk through how we determine what a budget should be. So follow that methodology, find a list of local niches, and then use that going through our framework until you find something. Most of the niches that we're in are going to be, most are in the teens at a minimum level. Teens up until like probably the 90s, somewhere in there, 50s, 60s, depends on the niche. Christopher, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. That would be very awesome. Christopher, you could email it to me. It's ed@clicksgeek.com. That would be a huge help. Or if you want to Opt in for our white label pricing. You'll get an email from me in real time as well. If you just want to reply back to one of those with it, that would be a big help. I appreciate that. Mohammed, I'm curious why you use paid reporting software instead of free Google Data Studios. It's a devil we know. It's just what we know. To do the configuration in Google Data Studio, was at the time was too much of a learning curve versus just going with the paid software that it was already done in, and it cost us, I don't know, a couple $100 a month. So I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying we don't do it. If it works for you, do it. Rob, good stuff. Art, also interested in white label guide. Art, I think I have your email, Art. Your name sounds familiar. Nope, I don't have your email, Art. If you go to, here, I'll drop a link in here. Guys, give me one sec. White label. I'll drop a link. Sorry, I turned on my fan and my nose started getting all clogged. If you guys go to the link I just dropped into the chat, if you opt in for our pricing, you'll get our pricing list. You'll get our white label guide, and then you'll get a YouTube playlist with videos that we recommend that you should watch. If you don't want me to call you, just drop something in there. Don't call you. I won't call you. Don't worry, I'm not going to hound you. Corey, I learned everything on YouTube. Awesome. Great to hear. Corey, just want to say we appreciate you. This for you. Okay. Awesome. Jeez. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much, Corey. I really do. I enjoy doing these lives. I enjoy teaching. So I think the funny part is I'm deathly afraid of public speaking. So I think it's pretty funny. But thank you very much. We love our YouTube channel. We love helping you guys out. We love that you guys watch the content, subscribe to the channel, interact with us. We dig it. Rob, does Google show call-only ads less than text ads? Yes. And if you think about this logically, Rob, a call-only ad is going to automatically cut off the entire desktop portion of the market, right? So there, by default, you're cutting off a massive portion of the market. What I prefer in terms of call-only ad approach would be a well-optimized mobile ad with a call extension. The reason being is a good portion of your market that would like to click would actually like to go to your website first. And if you show them a call-only ad, you lose that whole portion of the market that would like to go to your website. So you can achieve what you're looking to achieve with the click-to-call functionality with a mobile call extension, a call extension within a mobile ad, and kill two birds with one stone, if that would make sense. So that's why we actually would we like that version better than a straight up call-only ad. Hope that helps. Carlos, thinking of buying your Google Ads course, but you stated you're going to sell it as a bundle. So what do I think you should do? Carlos, buy our stuff, man. Whatever works for you, man. I don't know. I don't know your current financial position. I don't know how fast you want to be getting clients and learning the skill set. The way I look at it is the way we priced our courses was to keep it cheap enough so that people that had an agency and people that were starting an agency could easily buy our stuff and more than recoup the cost with the first client they take on. So that's why we keep our pricing the way that we do for our courses. So realistically, we're probably 30 to 60 days out from the Google Ads agency course. So it depends on your time frame. I think either way you're going to get value out of it, to be honest with you, but it's up to you. If you want to wait. I mean, the fact that you want to give us money anyway is awesome. I appreciate that. I sincerely do. I promise that the agency course will be full with so much value that it will more than make up for you purchasing something additional from us. So, but if you want to wait, that's totally cool too. What else you guys got? I'm seeing a flood of opt-ins right now for our pricing. So I'm assuming you guys are just looking for the guide right now, but I'll look through those when we get off. You guys have any other questions? I got to start cooking soon. I got to start making my bolognese. Those of you that came in from us emailing this out to our list, did you guys actually like the fact that we emailed it out to our list and not just went live this time, or did you guys come from more from YouTube? Awesome. You're welcome, Carlos. You're welcome, Rob. What else do you guys have? Anything else? YouTube, Dan. What's up, dude? You're here a lot. I see your name every time. I appreciate it. Rob, what if client wants to do a call only? How do you persuade them? Then do a call only. But I would explain to them why we don't do call onlys. So I'll say it again one more time, just so maybe I explained a little bit different this time. Rob, say you come to me and you say you're the client, but you want to run call only ads. I understand you want to run call only ads. Tons of clients came to us feeling the exact same way. But what we realized and what they found was that you cut off a huge portion of the market if you're doing call only ads. Number one, you cut off all of the desktop market, number one. And then number two, you cut off all of the mobile market that wants to actually see a landing page, which is a pretty significant portion of the market. What we found is, in lieu of that, is to run a mobile ad with a call extension in it, which allows the same functionality. It allows you to click the call right from that ad like you want to do. However, it also allows the functionality of someone going to your landing page if that's what they desire to do. It's not going to cost you more one way or another to do it this route, but it's more effective because you can kill two birds with one stone. That's how I would say it. That'd be my 2 cents on it. If they still want to do it, sure. Call only ads are easy enough. You could set up a call only campaign in minutes compared to having to build a landing page and all that. So it's technically easier to do that. However, I think it's in the best interest to do a fully fleshed out campaign, unless you're in a niche like emergency plumbing, emergency dental, towing, appliance repair, things that denote emergencies, like I need help fast type of thing. Then you can get away with it. But if it's anything else, I would prefer a fully fleshed out campaign. Hope that helps, Rob. Simo, YouTube, awesome. If you're not already, guys, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Nathaniel, if you increase a bid by 10% and then next week decrease it by 5%, what is the overall net increase? Holy shit, that is some hard math right there. I don't know. That's a question for Rob or a mathematician. If you increase it by 10%, so if you went from 100 by 10%, that's 105. And then 5% of that, I don't know. I would have to sit down with a calculator. You're making my brain hurt right now, Nathaniel. And thank you for your business. You just got one of our courses the other day, so thank you very much. Christopher, I would have missed it if you didn't email it. Oh, you're saying about the live. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to start emailing the links out more because we've had people on our list saying, "What are you doing? Get us information when it's going to be." And truth be told, I'm still working through public speaking, so I was okay with the small audiences at first because I'm not too crazy about public speaking. So as soon as I see that number climbing, it makes my stomach jump a little bit. So I'll get there. We'll keep mailing it. I'll keep getting better at this. Carlos, can I have your email? I'd like for you to be my mentor. Can work a price out. Yeah, Carlos, just opt in for our pricing, our white label pricing, and just put a message in there what you're looking for, and then we can chat. Denal, I came from YouTube. Thanks for answering questions today. I look forward. Awesome. You're welcome, man. Or man, female. I don't, Denal, I'm confused, but thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Lost one up there. How long do you think it'll take to get first job on Fiverr or any other websites? When I say it's a loaded question and I need more context, I don't mean that flippantly. It's truly a loaded question if I don't have more context. It could take you a day, it could take you an hour, it could take you a year. It depends on how aggressive you are with selling your services and how well you write and how well you present yourself. So it literally could be a day, it could be a week. So it could be a year. It's hard for me to answer that question without more context. I have same questions. So same answer. I need more context. Nathaniel, in the future, if you could do a video on client relations, like what are the early signs a client isn't happy or is going to leave, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Nathaniel, we did a video. I don't know if I've sent you this one before on setting expectations. I think it's called selling Google Ads, setting expectations. I would watch that. That'll give you a little bit more background on properly framing the sale so it's not oversold and them coming in with like sky high expectations and you delivering down here. You'd rather the inverse. But yeah, I can come up with a video on that. What you're going to find a lot of times is if you nail the average click cost to the daily budget ratio, that magic golden ratio that we've talked about tons and tons of times, the video on the channel, Google Ads budget, what should my Google Ads budget be? If you nail that, it alleviates a lot of problems because that's your minimum viable budget and you'll get traction moving with that. And you'll get them leads and they'll get customers and clients and patients in the door. So that's a big piece of it because if you don't nail that and the budget is too small compared to click cost in that market, or the market's too small, the campaign kind of just grinds along and it's like driving with the gas and the brake on. You get there, it's just a very herky-jerky ride and it's rough. Rob, cool. Flashy Buddy, hey brother, I have a client who is a contractor who renovates and builds houses. He only wants to target high-end target clients. How do I reach the appropriate leads for that? Probably by city targeting or radius targeting, and then at the keyword level, like anything else. I hope that helps. Maybe throw in the words luxury and custom in there and see if there's keywords that you could build out ad groups around for as well. Rob came to the call late. Was there a discount for recent direct mail? Okay. No, Rob, there's not, unfortunately. No discounts on the course at the current moment. I don't think there is going to be, because I think we're just going to package it all into the agency course, and I think that's where the big discount's going to be. I've started the courses online, but I see other people on Fiverr charging $10 an hour, but not getting jobs. It's like anything else. The better you can be at selling, the better off you're going to be in this. And that's not just this, that's like business in general, life in general. The more you can actively go out into a market and get a new client, the better off you're going to be. So if you're not comfortable at sales, go watch the interview I did with Claude Whitaker. There's Claude Whitaker. It's Whitacre. There's an interview on the channel. And then I spliced up the video a bunch of times as well. That dude's awesome. He's a very conversational, the way he sells. He's got an awesome book called Selling Local Advertising. Read that book. That's gonna shock you how simple this stuff can actually be. But it's asking better questions, having better responses, being more like selling in an objection-free way. So finding out what people are objecting to and crafting how you talk to people in a way that you don't have as many objections. It's the best way I could describe it. But yeah, I would say life got a lot easier when I started focusing on the sales side of things. Once I got good at selling and having conversations with people, life became a lot easier because it opened up more opportunities. And yeah, I hope that helps. Dan, you mentioned doing search only. Do you get clients, agencies pushing for display too, at least for marketing? So we don't touch display. We used to a little bit, but it's messy and there's a lot of fraud on it, and we just stay away from it. So we will do retargeting. The issue with Google retargeting is the list size needs to be pretty large in order for it to be effective, at least in our opinion. I think you need 150 people on the list for it to actually even kick on. And then realistically, like 500 before you start getting any traction with it. And if you think about it logically, everybody else that has that person pixeled as well, you're, let's say, one of 150 people on the list. They're like one out of 10,000 or one out of 100,000 or one out of 5,000 or one out of a million people also have them pixeled. So for them, they can bid pennies and get impressions and get clicks and leads, whereas you have to bid a decent amount in order to get anything cooking and need like 100% impression share for anybody to see anything. So for that reason, I would say run Facebook retargeting ads instead, because you can do it in a cost-effective manner for $5-10 a day. And you can start with a smaller list, and you're crossing over to a different platform. You can cross over to Instagram as well, and you look like a magician. You're following them around the internet now. And so for ease, I would say Facebook retargeting. Hope that helps. Do you think reaching out to local businesses to see if you can do a job for a low price is a good idea? No, I don't. I mean, yeah, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend it because selling on price is it's a race to the bottom, because there's always somebody. There's another Jorge that can sell this lower, and another Jorge that can sell it lower and lower, and then soon you're at nothing. And then why not just get a job at McDonald's or at a car wash? You know what I mean? So you're getting into business for yourself as a freelancer or as an agency owner to make money, and you got to have what I call a get out of bed pricing fee. This is the minimum you're willing to work for, and figure out what that number is going to be and go from there. Again, read the book by Claude Whitaker, How to Sell Local Advertising or Selling Local Advertising. Book's actually down in my car right now, so maybe I'll bring it up tomorrow and do a live and I'll show it to you. But I interviewed him on the channel. Dude's awesome. He's got a good YouTube channel as well. He owned a high-end, before he owned his agency, he owned a high-end, I think he still owns a high-end vacuum cleaning shop in Ohio, selling like $1,000 vacuums. Awesome. Very crafty dude. Brian, just got here, but for a local service business, example, HVAC, plumbing, electrical. What do you think of local service ads? Is this similar to what okay. We don't offer Google local service ads as a service because it is sort of a setup process. You know, they've got to go through a verification vetting process, and I don't want to be involved in that process. Too many people involved in the game of telephone. Have them set that up. It is kind of not a set and forget a platform. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. Keep in mind it's a carousel, and you're going to be limited by how much you can actually buy in that market. It's not a smart campaign. It's not Express. It's different. It's a different service offering that they have. You can run a smart campaign as well in addition to that. So it's different. And I'm not crazy. I mean, I think there's always going to be spots for Google ads. Express is just another way that they're monetizing the page. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, I got to leave in like 5 minutes to pick up my kids and then come back and start cooking dinner. But Rob, what is the usual monthly spend you'd recommend for clients? Rob, all right. I should give me 1 second. I'm going to get the video for you guys. I should pin all of these videos up here. Give me 1 sec here. Google Ads budget. This should be required watching. Share. All right. This is our Google Ads budget video. And that is,
I was using Google Analytics
let me just
and hated it.
turn that off. That's the framework that we put things through and how to come up with a Google Ads budget for a client. Watch that, and that will help. That teaches you the why, not just give you the answer. Because once you know that, selling this stuff becomes much easier on the fly as you talk to people. Carlos just sent the request through. Cool. Dan, let me take on your display campaign. All right. Shoot me a message, Dan. If I get any requests for display, we can connect. Send me a message through our pricing request page. Uchenna just hopped on live. Do you have any case studies of companies you've worked with and their success in Google Ads? Yes. Go to clicksgeek.com. Up in the menu section, there's case studies. Flashy Buddy, you're welcome. Rob, you're welcome. All right, last question, and then I've got to jump. Hi, just bought your direct mail and Google Ads course. Can you give us current customers a coupon to buy the agency course? Maybe. Paolo, if you email me a reminder on that, yeah, probably. I'll take care of you. Let's see. Mohammed, what's your method for location targeting? Obviously depends on the client's location. How do you generally do radius or zip? It depends. It depends on if it's a physical location like a dentist or a chiropractor. You got to do a certain mile radius or a certain targeting with that around an area. If it's a roofing company, they might be doing the DMA or the metro market. It could also be a radius. It just depends. I mean, we could do radius, we could do county level, we could do statewide, we could do nationwide, we could do city, county, zip code, radius, all sorts of different ways. So anything and everything and all between. We do them all. All right, guys. One last question, and then I've got to jump. I do have to be out of the house in 2 minutes. So what do you got? Anybody? Anybody? All right, 30 seconds. All right, I'm going to wind this down. As always, guys, I love doing these. If you guys have anything, any questions, just hit me up, and I will make sure to email out next time we're going to do this. All right, have a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. See you guys.